Got it. All right. Good morning. It's Wednesday and we're super excited that you're joining in today. I have the extreme privilege of leading this power hour. She's made it super easy for me today because she has put so much work into the CEO habits. I'm super hopeful that you all have been tuned into that this week. So Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. If you are not, could someone grab the link for me and just drop that in the chat? You want to do that, even if you're do the CEO habits day 1, 2, and 3 the next 3 days. Super valuable. It's great to just go through and do those activities and then pick out which are the ones that you're going to continue to do consistently. And so I actually wanted to start this out by reading the quote that Jen had put at the top of day 3, because I thought, oh, that's good. So just in case you read it yesterday and aren't paying attention yet, or whatever it might be, it just says, I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks, but I do fear the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times. And I don't know if you're like me, but let me know in the comments if you are. I get so excited about different things, lots of different things. And so I'm trying to do all these different things. And so a lot of times, right, and I didn't say it was Bruce Lee, so I want to say that. A lot of times I forget that this can actually be super simple. Like this can actually be a super simple process if I would just focus on one thing and do it really well day after day after day after day after day. So I love that. And I love that we kind of get to start our day with that. So we're going to go through the day 3 CEO habits today. And thank you to Jessica for putting that link to the Facebook group. If you are not a member of that, please join that right now so that you have access to that information even after today. I don't know how long it will stay available, but I'm guessing for a bit. So well, let's go ahead and just start out because it's my favorite part. And I made a commitment to you guys. Started August 1st. And I made a commitment. It's just a 30-day commitment and we'll see where we go from there. But so far, so good. What is today? 17th? Is it the 17th? I have written in my Start Today journal every day. So let's go ahead and start off. One of the things isn't it the perfect one? Jessica says she has the same one. That's kind of, it's my like Hawaii inspiration Start Today journal. So, we're going to go ahead and write, there's only room for 10 here, but I'll put 5 more in another notebook. 10 items of gratitude for today. So it's just going to help keep us focused on the good, which will lead us into the next thing that we're going to do. And so we'll go ahead and do these 2 things together. So 10 pieces of gratitude, jot those down. And then we want that to kind of help you to move right into sending happy messages to at least 5 team members. You're going to do your own gratitude, and then you're going to let them know why you're grateful for them. And maybe they're pieces of your 10 pieces of gratitude as well. So let's take, oh, I don't know. She actually told us about how long. So let's take about 10 minutes to do those 2 things right now. And I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody just so we are able to think. Sorry, I just realized I wasn't muted, so I hope you didn't hear me writing. But if you're willing to share one or two things that you have written down as pieces of gratitude, please, you can either unmute or you can add them to the chat, but we would love to. It's always nice to see what other people are grateful for, because I think it helps us to not get into a rut. Okay, so that was probably not enough time to get those two things done, but I never feel like I have enough time in an hour. So let's table that. We're gonna kind of move on to the next activities. And then if you didn't get something finished, then either you can continue to work on that or you can work on these next things. And then if we have time, we'll certainly go back and finish those up. But amazing. If you haven't had a chance to just kind of read what people are putting in the chat, please do. You guys have so much to be grateful for. And I do really love, and I have found that when I start my day with intention and gratitude, I'm so much more focused. I know what it is I'm working towards. I'm not thinking, woe is me. I'm not having those Eeyore moments. And I just get so much more accomplished. But I do have to give a little shout out because Jessica had asked, and I was shocked. I put a post up about my Mr. Sketch markers. So former teacher here, right? Has anyone not heard of these? Some people were telling me they had not heard of them, and I couldn't believe it. These are the best things. If you like to do charts or graphs or maps on big things of Post-it notes like I do, they're amazing, and they're amazing to write with. I love how well they write. Plus, they each smell like a different flavor of some amazing thing. So good. So there's my little plug for Mr. Sketch. I just got this whole, let's see, 22 box of scented markers. So yes, I am even grateful for my markers this morning. All right. Let's do the real quick thing, which is, and maybe you already did this if you saw my message in the power hour, you've already come. Well, I shouldn't say that. Sorry. I'm going ahead of myself. Right now, we want to check our current points. So take just a couple of minutes to check. And I should have asked you while you were in there grabbing your July points. Sorry. But if you didn't grab your current points, take a peek at those right now, jot them down in your calendar. I know some people have shared, and I've started doing it as well. I think Carol had shared that she's been, kind of keeping a running daily chart of her points so that you can start to see those trends. But if you would go ahead and grab your points and then any new joins, because we'll do some things with that in a little bit, but that should take just a couple of minutes. And then if you didn't grab your end of July points, please grab those, because that's what we're going to do next. We're going to map out and just take a look at, do we need to pivot? We're kind of halfway through August. Hopefully you set some goals at the beginning of August. Possibly you're on track for those. Possibly we need to pivot. And so let's map that out and just kind of see where we are. And I've gone through this before, and Jen put a really nice kind of walk you through it. But if it's helpful, I can walk somebody through it really quickly, how they would map out their points. If we all kind of have it, then we'll just do our own and we'll keep working. So let me know in the comments if it would be helpful for me to just walk somebody through how they would map out the next rank. So go grab your current points, grab the names of your new joins, and make sure you have your ending July points. All right, so do you have your current points, your new joins, and then your ending points for July? And then the other thing that you want to make sure you have is you want to know what your next goal is. What's your next rank up? What's your next point goal? If your next rank up feels really far away, so you feel discouraged, then what's your next point goal that you want to hit? Maybe it's 100 points. Maybe it's 250. So if that next rank up feels super far away and that makes you feel discouraged, then let's cut that in half and make it your point goal. So in order to, map out your next rank or your next goal, you want to always know, where you are headed. What's next? Where are you going? Because the more awareness that you have, the more focused you are going to end up becoming on that prize, right? On that next thing. If we're just kind of going through this by like, oh, okay, well, I have 200 points, so that's great. We won't ever get to that next level, to that next rank. And so we want to make sure that we're focused on that. All right, it looks like we have some people who are interested. Can we just do, is it okay if I take a few minutes to just do a quick map with somebody? Is there someone who would like me to do that with you? And we're gonna kind of do it specific, but not really. Because it could take a little bit of time, but I can at least map you through the process of how I would talk somebody through it. Lori said she would. Perfect. Lori, will you unmute?
I hope you can hear me.
I can.
Okay. Along with the music as well.
Well, kind of. You know what, Lori, how about, do you want to mute and then you could answer the questions in the chat? Does that work?
I can.
Okay. There's a lot of background noise. Did everybody else hear the same, or is it just me? Maybe it's just me. Everybody else heard the same. Okay. So Lori, what were your ending points for July? $263. Okay, perfect. So what is your next, do you have a rank goal or do you have a point goal? Let's just do rank for the sake of this, right? Because we should always be shooting for the next rank. So the next rank right now, Lori is senior gold. The next rank is Ruby. She needs 500 points for Ruby. Before we do any subtracting, well, that's not true. We're going to do a little bit of subtracting, but we want to take her July points and we want to account for, I just always account for 10% attrition rate. It's a thing, it happens. And so we want to just build that in. And if we don't have if we have less than a 10% attrition rate, then we're going to celebrate that. That's extra points we have, but we're just going to kind of be safe with a 10% attrition rate. So if we do that with Lori's 263, I'm just going to make it easy and I'm going to do it on my calculator. So we're going to do 263. And then instead of doing points, we're just going to do subtract 26. Okay, so what Lori's starting points then we would say for August with her 10% attrition rate taken out would be 237 points. All right.
Can you say that attrition part again? Sorry.
Yeah. So I always just figure in a 10% attrition rate. So let's make it easy, right? If somebody has 150 points that they end with, 10% of 150 is 15. So we're going to subtract 15 from that 150. That's our starting point as far as points for the month. So with Lori, she had 263. Instead of putting in like the decimal points and having it be all wonky, I just rounded and I'm just subtracting 26. Does that make sense? Why I'm saying that? Okay. So the 263 minus the 26. So basically we can say that Lori her points are starting at 237. Like that's where she's building from in the month of August, because we have accounted for that attrition rate. Again, we're hopeful that it's not going to be 10%. And then fantastic, that's extra, right, that she has. So we're going to take the 500, which is her goal. We're going to subtract the 237, which is what she has when we figure in the attrition rate. And so the points needed to get to that goal are 263. Everybody in agreement with me? Understand how I got there? Okay. Really, the last step of this then is to take those points and figure out how many people, like how many new orders do I need? And so it's not necessarily new VIPs, right? It can be just new people ordering, meaning it can be people who haven't ordered, start ordering again. It can be new VIPs, but we're looking for how many new orders are we going to need this month to hit that goal. So in the example that Jennifer has on the CEO habits, I think she divided by 4. That makes sense to me. She's a diamond. She has a lot of people on, you know, her legs that are, or her, not her legs, sorry, her levels, probably 4 through 7, right? And so her points are going to be lower. For me, I'm a senior Ruby. I'm a little bit less than 5 points on average per person when I take my number of people divided by my points. That's a lot of work though. I would tell you, if you are like senior Ruby and below, most of the time 5 is going to be pretty safe. Okay, I do have a few 7s, so that's why it kind of pulls mine down a little bit. But I would tell you that most of you, if you are senior Ruby and below, I would tell you 5 points would be pretty safe. Lori's saying though, she divides by 4. So whatever you could get down to the exact decimal point if you wanted to. That's too much work for me. So let's divide by 4. Because that's what Lori says she uses. So essentially she needs 65.75 or 66 orders, new orders this month to hit that goal of Ruby. That's how we figure it out. Again, I used 5. And so essentially, and now with Lori too, any level 1s that Lori gets, right? Or even levels 2s and 3s, right? Those are going to be bonus points for her because she's only dividing by 4. So level 1s are actually going to get her 2 more points than she was planning on per person. And levels 3s and, or sorry, 2s and 3s are going to get her 1 more point than what she divided by. So I figure those as all being bonus points. And they can actually add up to be an extra person or 2, depending upon how many levels 1s, 2s, and 3s you have. So does that help? Does that make sense? Would you know how to do yours? You needed to? Is there anyone that is like so lost they can't even think about how to do this? It's okay. You can be so lost. We want you to understand. But again, if you're on that CEO habits page, Jennifer does walk you through step by step how to do that. I just wanted to do it again in person because I think it can be helpful to understand. Now to map this out then, it's a little bit different. I basically start with myself. So of those 66 orders, how many do I plan to get, right? So let's say I plan to get 10. Now I have 56 more new orders I need to, again, map out. I look at my business builders. I see kind of where they're at. Maybe they need 5 more orders to get to the next level, right? So then I'm going to give them a little bit more than 5 because I know they're going for that next level. They're going to get the 5. So I'm going to maybe give them 6 or even 7. And then I subtract that from the total that I still have left. And I just kind of keep going through and looking. So your back office, you guys, I know so many of us avoid it, but it is a gold mine It's a gold mine because you're going to look at who's 1 or 2 away from silver. All right, well, let's put their name down on my map. Let's put that they need at least 2 more people to go silver or fast start silver. And then I now know, and I can see it on my map, that I need to reach out to that person, talk to them about fast start silver, help them to get there. That's 2 more people then. Maybe I'm going to reach out to some white lines. I'm going to send a message out and I'm going to plan that 4 of those people are going to order again. So do you kind of see how you map out and work through then? You're basically taking the number of orders you need and you're deciding where are those coming from? How many personally? Looking at the people who are kind of close to their next rank. So how many can they get? Letting them know specifically if they get this many more people, they get to this next rank and here's how much money that's worth. A lot of times talking very specific dollar amounts with people is super helpful. All right, any questions about that? I do use, let me show you real quick. So I love my Mr. Sketch markers, but I also love my really huge Post-it notes. And these go on and off the wall and they don't damage anything. And so this is what I do my maps on. And right now, my goal is 100 orders. 100 orders. So that's my goal. I have, well, I can't, I'll take a picture and I'll put it in the, I can maybe put it in the thread, but I have 100 circles, 10 rows of 10. I write the name of the person and then I write their sponsor. And then when I get to 10, we cross it off. We're, 20, cross it off and so on. So it's just kind of my visual, having a visual helps me a ton. And then I also have Post-it notes where I'm kind of breaking that 100 into chunks of 25. So it doesn't feel as overwhelming as 100, right? And then I have Post-it notes that are 25 down to 1. And as we take them off, I put their name on it and I put them here on the desk. So it's just, again, it's just a visual. I used to not think I was a visual person like that, but when I have it out in front of me and I look at it daily and I'm like, ooh, we're not anywhere near where we should be, then it helps me to get moving, right? And to get to work and to do the things and to post and to reach out and to all the other things. So any questions about that mapping? Do you feel like you could do that? Again, look back at the notes on the CEO. All right, so the number 3 on the day 3 checklist is, and you probably have already just like we went and looked at who are our new joins. So hopefully you know who they joined with. And then you either want to do a shout out. If you have a team page, you could do a graphic and a shout out. Maybe Susie had 4 people join so far this month. If you haven't recognized Susie, then that might be something you would do for number 3. Or you could send them a message. I would say, and you could send them a message, right? So doing a shout out on your page, so that team recognition. If you don't have a page, maybe your upline has a page and you can do a shout out there. So make a graphic. And it's just as simple as Susie has added 4 people so far this month with a little blurb that you post it with, right? Any recognition that you can do for people, right? We all want to feel good and successful. And so let's take a few minutes and let's find out who has been adding people on our team and give them some recognition with either a, do both and recognition on a team page and send them just a private message, with a woohoo, congratulations, keep going, you're doing a great job sharing healthy and happy. How's that? Let's take a few minutes and do that. About how much time do we have? Okay, Can we take 7 minutes? That would get us to 11:40 for that. I'm so bad at like this, being quiet and working. I'm gonna try. Okay, so again, you may not be finished, but you do know what you could go and finish when we're done. There's a couple more things that I do want to finish before, or that I do want to do and talk about before we finish the power hour. And the one is the event tomorrow night, Meet Plexus. Anything that Jennifer and her team offers to all of us, we want to take advantage of that because we know it's going to be incredible. So this is a great opportunity, and I took it as an opportunity the other day to message. So if I am involved in some three-way messages that have been stalled, I went back to all of those, every single three-way message that my team might have put me in that just kind of has stalled out and we weren't making any movement with. They hadn't made the decision yet to like jump in and do it. I did something and it was so simple. And I've had a few people reach out to me, and I think a lot of times we overthink and we think we have to have this really long message that explains everything in detail. You ready for what I sent? And I've had a really great response. It is literally the graphic that Jen has. And so if somebody has that graphic handy, and I can do it when I'm done talking, but if you have the graphic handy, will you put it, just one person, so if somebody's already done it, don't put it in there again, but will somebody put the graphic in the Power Hour chat so we have it? And then literally, this is all I did. It's all I did. I sent the graphic. So I went back to all of these old three-way messages. I sent the graphic with the question, would you be able to join us on this Zoom on Thursday? And then I tagged the person who I was addressing it to because it's a three-way message and I wanted to make sure they saw it. That's it. That's all I said. And I'm getting a great response to that because A, it's not this big long thing where people are like, ugh, I don't want to read that. It just was literally a question. It was inviting them. We would love to have you join us. Okay, so I'm going to read exactly what I said just because it was that good. And I don't want to mess it up. And I'll put a copy just so you can see. But I said, I sent the graphic with the question, would you be able to jump on this Zoom on Thursday at whoever ? That's all. That's all. And I even got responses with people saying, no, I'm blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, how about I send you the recording? Would you be open to watching that? So I didn't just say, okay, gosh, thanks, or bummer, or any of that. I still continued that conversation with those people where that conversation had stalled, right? Even if they said no. The other thing I did too with some of them is if they said, no, I can't make that. I talked about the recording. Are you open to me sending you the recording? We'd love to have you see this info. And then also every Monday through Thursday, our team, and yours might also, offers a 15-minute Zoom, so a pink 15. So then I had that opportunity to invite them to that again. So it just opens up that conversation again. I tweaked my fancy message a little bit for team members who had kind of fallen off. You ready how fancy I got with that one? Again, getting a really good response. I sent the graphic. And then the message, it says, I'd love for you to jump on the Zoom on Thursday with a heart. That's it. That's it. So simple. We've gotten a great response. I have a list of people who have said yes, or I'll try, or whatever. And I truly believe, you guys, the fortune with this is in the follow-up, because even those people who said like, yes, exclamation point, and you're like walking around thinking, all right, I've got, 10 people who have said they're coming. If we don't follow up with those people tomorrow and just remind them that it is, and then even 15 minutes before, hey, just wanted to remind you, I'm excited to see you in 15 minutes. Whatever it might be, we need to remind people because we all get busy. And even though they probably truly meant yes, they're going to forget unless you remind them. So that's really important. The fortune will also be in the follow-up after that call. After that call. So let's take a few minutes then, and let's just send some really simple invites. The graphic, was somebody able to put it in the, I haven't looked yet. If not, I can do it. It is there. Perfect. All right. So if you want to go ahead and just send those out. The other thing that I did, you may or may not like this, I'm okay with it though, is I went back to any gut health chats. So those 15-minute messenger parties that either I personally hosted or I hosted for a team member, and I dropped the same graphic and the same question in there. You have to be okay with some people wanting out, and that's okay. I just let that go. But some people actually, it might be their time. They might be ready. They might be willing to jump on, and that's an audience that I could throw that in there. That's it. It's not a big long thing. It's just literally the graphic and the question. I can also put in here, the graphic is in the Power Hour chat. It's not here because I don't know how to put graphics in here, but if you're in the Power Hour chat, it is there. The only other thing that I did, and I'll put this, I can put it here in just a second and in the Power Hour chat. I did do a project broadcast message. So if you have that, all I did was take Jennifer's post, I tweaked it a little bit. And then my virtual assistant sent that out yesterday to all of my active team members. And so I will put that in there in both places so you have that as well. So sending out, I was going to give you 10 minutes and I'm only going to give you 5 because I didn't shut up soon enough. Because I do want to do one more thing before we're done. So go. Okay, and I can't believe it. We only have 5 minutes left. So much more to do. But hopefully you have some ideas that you'll be able to just continue on after, or at whatever time today you're able to get back to work a little bit. I do want to just talk through a few more of these things. The other one that I was going to have us do before we're done today is setting a timer for 10 minutes. So again, you'll want to do this a little bit later. Go on to social media, look for great posts and photos to save. And hopefully you're doing this daily anyway. As you come across posts, you're saving them so that you can use them. Can I share a fun little thing that I've been doing that I have found super helpful? If you have your own team page, I do. At the top of, let's see, let me find it real quick. It's called Health and Happiness Lounge. At the very, so I have it as a featured post. It's just weekly post ideas. So for a lot of my new people who are just like, I'm not posting because I have like no idea what to post. Every Friday, I don't, my VA does now, but it could be me. It has been me. I post in the comments 5 different post ideas. So I'm saving posts all the time as I come across them. And then every Friday for my team on that weekly post ideas post in the comments, they're getting 5 new fresh ideas. I have also said to them, don't go through and do this one on Monday and this one on Tuesday and this one on Thursday, Wednesday. I don't even know how to do my days of the week. But we don't want everybody to be posting the same post every single day because, yuck, right? So just find the one that speaks to you. And within just 3 weeks of the month, they're going to have 15 different posts to choose from. The other thing is at the end of a month, we unpin that one, but it's hashtagged weekly post ideas. So they can go and find thousands of posts because every month we're just recreating that weekly post ideas. And there'll be new posts added to the comments. Okay, but they'll still be able to go and access all the other months worth because they'll be hashtagged weekly post ideas, or they are hashtagged that. So you can do this for yourself, but if you're saving some really great post ideas and you have especially new team members who aren't sure what to do, that's a great way to just help them feel super comfortable and independent. Obviously, you want to do a lot of good coaching where they're not just copying and pasting that, but they're tweaking it. They're making it sound like themselves. They're using their own picture and those kinds of things so that they will get noticed. But that's just an idea I wanted to share with you as far as something that I think has been super helpful. And then, sorry, dropped my phone. The other thing, just so you have an idea, because Jennifer did explain to me what she meant behind the CEO one, which I really thought was brilliant. So number 9, make a list of those heroes and be purposeful in following them and or meeting with them. So we all need mentors, right? And those mentors may or may not be on your team. They may be sidelines from other teams. You know, they may be people who are in the position or at the rank that you want to be at. But find time to spend some time maybe asking them questions, going to lunch if they're local, picking their brain. She was talking about how Tarl is really good at that, where he just finds CEOs of, well, not finds, he knows, I'm sure, CEOs of different businesses, but he's always talking with them, sharing ideas, all of those different things. And so that's just it's a good practice to get into, and it allows you to kind of see what they are. So find your heroes. Who would your heroes be? And make sure you're following them. Make sure you're making a connection with them. Make sure you're asking questions, etc. So I loved that one. And then goodness, the last one. Do something scary. something that scares you today. So have any of you thought about that? You probably have looked at this before we jumped on, but what's your scary thing? And it's 12 and we're gonna just take another quick second if you don't mind staying on, but what's your scary thing that you're committed to do today?
I just posted a very dumb reel of me dancing. I've never wanted to do it, but I did.
Yay!
I went to a
Nice
Bible
work.
study this morning with people I had no idea I was going to know anybody, or it's a new place, new group of people, new church, and I actually saw somebody that I went to high school with, and I have actually got somebody I'm going to lunch with.
Oh, I love that. So that thing that scared you has really created some good connections,
I actually walked away from there nauseous.
but you did it. And
Yes.
it's getting you some great fruit. I love it. Anybody else want to share the thing? Ooh, going live, Karen said. Yes, I don't love going live either, but I know I need to. So let's commit to doing it today. The scary thing. If you do the scary thing, please put it in the power hour so we can all go support you if it's something that we are able to on social media. And also just cheer you on and tell you we're super proud of you. So, holy cow, that hour goes so fast. We could have worked another 3 hours today, but hopefully you have all of the things that you are able to go and do. Ooh, ordering the reset. Yay! I'm actually getting ready to do my round 3 on Monday. So if you want to do it with me, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'd love to have you do that with me. Tell people you're doing it. Tell people you're doing it so that they can join you. That's one of our CEO habits from earlier this week. So thanks for jumping on, everybody. I love this group and being able to join you every week, twice a week.